I'm Desi Mundo, founder and director of the Community Rejuvenation Project in Oakland, California. Community Rejuvenation Project is a pavement to policy mural organization. So by the pavement, we mean that we're working out on the street, that we're actual practitioners of aerosol mural arts. You know, I think I was really kind of just disillusioned with the system, and I really, by my senior year in high school, I just really viewed my high school as a factory, and I was really like just kind of like, tuning in and dropping out, you know what I mean, and attacking the system, and I was like, yeah, like there's something real going on here, and whatever's going on in school, like, just didn't matter to me as much. So somehow I managed to graduate. I almost didn't graduate high school because I just stopped going. I started cutting like required classes, and like just somehow I just barely got out by the skin of my teeth when she went outside and saw the pregnant girl almost get choked and get smacked around, and I didn't know any of that. I knew that she had been outside. I knew something had happened, but I didn't know if she had seen it. I didn't know any of that, and I just saw her shutting down, and so I gave her some space to process it and let her kind of, you just need time to come back. And a lot of times in school, and my stepson teaches me this all the time. It's like giving people space to come back and then engage with you. So when I heard that, I was like, damn, that's kind of a messed up situation. I honestly didn't even process the fact that she was a witness. I just saw her come in and shut down. I stayed in the classroom. It's raining. I'm not going outside unless I have a reason. And there's a couple students in there too. So I was just chilling with them. I gave them a 5-minute break because, we'd been at it for an hour. And they went out to go get their phones. Apparently on the yard, a young man, very large young man, had kind of gotten into an altercation with a pregnant woman who's a student on campus and in her second trimester, and some type of hitting occurred, some type of grabbing by the neck occurred, and it's all kind of traumatic for a lot of people. And also because I know the school, there's also kind of a frenzy energy of ooh and damn and run towards the violence and run towards all that. So there's all of that, but at the same time you're witnessing something really bad happening and people are kind of like not really processing it. So I didn't know that had gone on, but she was out there. I think she witnessed it. So she comes back in the classroom. She's like, man, I should have just gone home. I don't want to be here. This is stupid. And the assignment I had given her was really difficult. So that also shut her down. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, here, just draw this fish. Here's a photo, draw it. And she had never been asked to do that, at least in my class, as we're a new class. So she's just like, yo, this is too much for me. And she basically shut down, and I tried to talk to her for a second, but I saw her just being really frustrated and, shook up by something, I guess. I don't know if I didn't really catch that, but I just saw that like symptoms of shutting down and potentially blanking out and wilding out. That's what I was more concerned about. I was like, if I go at her hard right at the beginning of this, like, hey, you need to start working right now, she would have just lost it. She would have started screaming, cussing at me, and I would have lost all my respect with the entire class. So I was like, all right, you want to chill. I'm going to go work with these other kids. I'm going to go, keep doing what I'm doing. So she just stayed shut down for like 20 minutes. And then at some point she started taking a stab at doing the drawing. And because she had the space to like breathe and work it out the way, I don't know her. I don't know how she works out. I don't give a shit what they did. To be honest with you, like, you know, I just don't. What's judging them gonna do for them? Sometimes they'll tell me. Some kids are straight off the bat. You know, usually the guys that are trying to show how tough they are. I'm in here, you know, guns, this, that. I had a key. I had, you know, some weight, and I was packing heat in the stolo, and you know. Or like that one kid who wasn't even in the class. Oh man, I could steal this car right now. You know? Well, yeah, you probably, you know, like I just validate. I just say, okay, yeah, you probably could. But why would you want that car? It doesn't even have a stereo. Yeah, but I could be shooting around all over the place. Okay. You know? And you probably could, and I probably couldn't stop it because I'm in the classroom working with these other kids. I probably won't even hear you break into the damn car. I might not even lock the door, you know? So I think that a teacher is just a facilitator of experience. I think when I was a kid, I thought that I could be a better teacher than my teachers. And I would observe them and kind of think about their teaching style and what I liked or didn't like about them. And I had some great teachers. My style is pretty laid back. Like I said, I just want you to, one, have a good relation with me and have a good time. And two, to just through kind of like almost not paying attention, but just, hey, we're in this class, so we draw. The ones who want to really develop it are going to practice at home. They're going to bring you pictures. They're going to talk to you about it. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to bring the class to you. And the other ones are there because they want something to do after school because they don't have nothing to do. And they don't really care about the art. They just want to be there. You know, so I try to facilitate a space that's like, okay, you're here. It's safe. We don't disrespect, you know, people, particularly women, and anything based on gender. And we can be creative, and you can be half-ass creative. You can sit around and talk, or you can draw. I learned everything from the kids. You know, both, even stylistically sometimes. Like, even like technically, there's kids, the more brilliant kids have stuff to teach me about art. The less brilliant kids artistically have things to teach me about life. And also they tell me what's going on in the community. They inform me about a lot of the things that are happening, the styles, you know, what they're doing, and through my interactions with them, you know, I find out what works and what doesn't work. When can I push a button? When can I not push a button to motivate you? And when can I jump in and just share something that's gonna be, you know, like sometimes you have to remember that you're also not guaranteed that someone else has said this to them. Even basic life lessons and messages. And even if they have, it doesn't hurt to say it again from another voice and from another perspective. And that's the most important thing. I don't care if you become an artist. You know, I really don't. In fact, I wouldn't recommend being an aerosol writer to just about anybody. You know what I mean? Like, this is a difficult life. We kind of got, I think, like for me and having a lot of privilege and kind of like having busted my ass for so long to get to this point, I'm kind of doing okay and doing pretty well off it. But I know a lot of people that got stuck along the wayside, have tons and tons of headaches because of it, you know, and got involved with a lot of people that are not healthy for them through it. You know, so I also, you know, like I wouldn't necessarily recommend, I want you to be a good person. I don't care how you do it. I want you to find who you are. Understand yourself. That's what the best teachers in my life shared with me. I want you to discover your style in art too. And that's the tricky piece of teaching it, is I don't want you to copy me. I want you to find you. And how do you, so again, that's facilitating experience. That's not, you know, drilling, kill, replicable model, doon, 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 doon. And finding you, you may find you're not an artist, or that your art is something completely different, because I find that there's an art in setting up the projects. I find that there's an art in writing the grants. I find that there's an art in managing the whole process, and that's the work that I do. Out the team, I don't know if I'm the most creative artist or the best artist, and a lot of the people I work with I think are more unique and more creative, and they have, really, I'm a talented artist, but I don't know if I'm a unique artist. And the pieces of me that are unique end up being the pieces that are left behind the most in my art. So the pieces that I want to really develop and define me don't get shown out in the most of the public murals that I do. I'm also a person that's about it. I go off and paint. You know what I mean? I stay active. And that's the most important thing to me, is as long as I'm out there doing it and practicing it, that's the most important thing. I want to always do something better than the person I'm battling isn't the other dude, it's me. I want to see if I can do better than what I did the last time. I want to see if I can do something more technically difficult. And then there's also this weird thing that goes on between the artist for art's sake and the community artists. These other guys, some of them get to be really big time, just flying around doing kind of these random beautiful pictures that have zero to do with the places they're at, zero to do with the community. Some big fan who has some money can commission them to come and put it up there. Some dude on Webster, we were just there today, he painted a goddamn rabbit with its skeleton coming out of its body. What the hell does that have to do with Oakland? And it's technically well painted, but it's kind of gross. Do I really want my children walking by and looking at this weird skeleton cadaver, with blood dripping off of it? What? And some of these fools out here, painting really dark, demonic scenes. Oakland doesn't need that. The more I learn about Oakland, the deeper the history is, the deeper the struggles have been. There's so many, there's just so many amazing people that you come across, and there's so many amazing stories, and, for me, that's, Oakland just kind of, we need to show it's already here, and again, do artwork that develops without displaces. We need to do artwork that is not going to invite in people that are going to push out the existing sacred culture of Oakland. The aerosol movement was created by inner city kids, so it's it's naturally their aesthetic. It's naturally, that thing, and it connects to so many people even beyond the inner city. But I think that we would totally kind of shift the paradigm a little bit when dealing with kids from a different socioeconomic background, because it's I have a brother who's a tutor for really rich kids, and one of the things he brings up is that they have problems too, and they need help too, and a lot of times they need a certain kind of, maybe a different kind of love than the kids that have don't have as much money or whatever. But I think that you would I think it's about teaching people from outside. If you're going to work with people outside of the culture, it's finding a way to share the culture so that they can understand and respect it and value it. And that's one of the reasons we don't use the G word, is because that opens up the conversation of disrespect. It opens up the conversation of invalidation based on a title. You know, if you talk about, I'm a master spray painter, I'm a master aerosol artist, I'm a master aerosol writer, I'm a master calligrapher, nobody can invalidate that and question if that's an art form. You know what I mean? But the terminology of calling it graffiti is, you know, inherently opens up that question for people because, and there's all these people, well, I'm going to redefine it now. Why are you fighting that battle? That's a stupid battle to fight. And that's not even our name. That's the name they gave us. So we can't, I don't need to hold on to that piece. I think that every kid wants to find a way to express themselves. This is a worldwide phenomenon. It goes, from here to Bangladesh to, Soweto to, Tokyo. I mean, all over the planet, there's just this movement that connects to it because it comes. I think also the way that reggae does too. Like hip hop, reggae is movements. From really oppressed people but it has the ability to speak to kind of everybody. And that's part of the inner city experience is that a lot of people become really enamored with looking, like they have money or looking fly and having that style. And it's often expensive. It's often kind of like almost in some ways, out of reach. And there's always that big thing. How are you going to spend, $200 on shoes and can't pay your rent, or your mama's always broke, and like that kind of, like paradigm of like trying to look good versus trying to live good. At that point, it may not, from some people's perspective, it may not seem holistic, or it may not seem, like enlightened. But, when you're talking about a high school kid, it's like you're not going to get there anyway at that point. And it's not like we shouldn't bring up and kind of have the conversation, but we can't be rigid about it or disrespectful to her about it, or you have to meet her where she's at. I think that's the bottom line there. I don't like, hey, at least you can draw. You came up with a fly looking shoe or fly looking, like, hey, you actually kissed the paper that you were drawing on when you did your lipstick drawing, and like, I think that's daring and on some small level. I don't remember homegirl's name or anything, but every time she would come to my class, I taught at another continuation school, and every time she would come to class, she would act out, and like just so many insane, really difficult ways to deal with. And every single day I would put her out, get the rest of the class set, and then go outside and have to have some type of conversation with her about how she was behaving. And
what would she do? Just
yell, scream, talk, I don't even remember, threaten people, just needed a lot of attention. And, I saw her at the Oscar Grant rallies, and we recognized each other, and she was so happy to see me. And I was like, this girl couldn't stand me in those situations. But actually, I think she needed a boundary to run into. And so I think that there's like I think that there's a lot of good lessons in all of that, and I think that one of the biggest ones overall is just that patience, that way down the line, someone may feel something that you were doing that you didn't think was going to have any impact, and you didn't think that you could make any dent in, and the people that were almost your biggest headaches and the most impossible to kind of figure out and navigate and work with, and that you just kind of felt like a failure with, in some ways, just if you kept putting your heart into it, that it comes back in some type of level. So the old school Chicago, that's what I remember seeing a lot in my neighborhood. Mainly because there was a guy named Agony who spelled it with two E's, Agonee, and he was everywhere. So he's adding a little style to his T. But some of it's pretty nice with the extra arrows. A lot of this stuff, what it looks like to me, is the early writing in New York. You know, these little squiggly hearts at the end. That's, you know, a variation of the arrows that phase 2 is putting on his letters. So that all of it has style, and if it's basic, that's because it's the beginning, right? The beginning is always basic, and as we get better, we elaborate. We make it more stylized. We elaborate and we exaggerate, right?
Yeah.
We make it crazier. We make it super insane. So I take my D and I stretch it way fast. Color it in smooth. Color it in even. Take your time. Don't be in a rush. What you rushing for? We got time. And even think about it, like, did you do that? No, right? No. So look, you could use this for any occasion, right? Right? So this is what I did. Check it out. I did all my styles circular. Right?
How do you do it?
Circular? Like that. If you don't like it, do it different.
I do a T.
How do you do a T? Easy. Whoop. Or maybe. Real style master himself was the one that showed me that. So one of the things that we do is I didn't come up with that idea, so I always acknowledge the person who gave it to me. You know, that right there is major style foundation. If you really understand and use that you can create unlimited styles with what I just told you.
Not just a name. I started calling myself.
What is it?
Hazy.
Why'd you pick it up?
What about
I don't know. It just popped up in my head one day. I mean, he had a name, so I came up with a. This is Repo.
All right. Well, try.
What?
I'm just trying to say maybe shorten a little bit. And
I don't know.
you could still.
Just
my
hazy
sister
mean like
Maloney
foggy.
used to do 7 letters too.
Yeah.
Is that
So you
something
can
something
do it,
about
but
you?
it's just hard to fit on the
Yeah.
page.
I mean, I
Like,
used to
you want
smoke a
a
lot,
page
but
really long.
no, I stopped.
You know.
Man, just stuck with me.
Just make it up now, or you had it before?
Well, I've been at it. That's like she said. That's my Instagram name too. Yeah.
If you don't smoke anywhere now, what about what people think?
It's my name. I like it.
You can be hazy in other ways.
Yeah.
You're just spaced out. You're not spaced out in this class.
Nah.
These are calligraphy pens. Calligraphy pens. If you use them on the right side, okay? They're not perfect, but they can do a lot. So, marker in the same position. If I don't twist it around and whatever, if I always do my lines like this, and if I come in like this on the side, look at how much skinnier it is, right? So if you can actually control that to help create some other dimension to your style. You understand me? So try doing that for a second. Try messing around, and from Los Angeles, okay, let me see if I can pull it up on Instagram, because we all use the same tools. Instagrammer. Oh, that's some whole other craziness. What the hell?
What?
Look at this. This is, I don't even know what it's made out of, but it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Letter-based, right? This is the first thing that came up on my screen. But this is when your writing really turns into calligraphy. And that form is a sign of mastery. So this is Renos. He's actually from the Bay Area. Here. Check out this alphabet.
What are you drawing? Can you describe it?
A shoe.
What kind?
Right?
The all pink
So
Air
remember, we're
Forces.
still on letters. We're going to draw in a second.
Can you show it?
You know, some people are drawing shoes already.
Why did you decide to draw shoes?
That's dope.
Because they have
That's,
a
and
point.
that
I
comes,
love
a
shoes.
lot of it really comes based
love
on the
shoes.
solo.
Shoes are sexy.
Amazing. Like, but you've also studied like traditional calligraphy and
Okay, hella
solo
wet.
writing and mix it together. Okay, check this out.
What is that?
It's writing.
Looks like demonic writing.
No, it definitely has a cholo influence as well as.
Why are you always correcting me? Okay.
You guys are cute.
I'm cute. I don't know what that is.
Insane, right?
Change is wild.
It should matter now.
Study of letters.
It should matter now. Alright then, stay happy.
Cupcakes.
Stay your happy ass over there. Keep your happy ass talking
You
to
guys
your
wanna
happy ass self.
Y'all don't need to flirt in here.
Ain't nobody flirting with him.
She got a man.
Yeah, I got a man. Now let's see.
Ugh.
For Tomasita. Then when I come over to an outline, I take the top line and I turn it into a bar. And then I just erase that little place where they intersect. And I got a T.
Ah, that's
You guys follow me?
Yep.
Right? This is simple. This is really simple, but that's the concept. If I make a shape, I can make an outline from that shape. You following me? So if I make, same thing, let's do another simple one for a second. E. Hydrated a little bit more, but you get the idea. And then I go.
Yeah, that's why when we started on the fin shit, you started with all those shapes.
Right. And a lot of times in the class,
She, he, man.
What do you think of this class?
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I get to learn new, like, I need to learn more things about art than I think I would have if I didn't join. Like, he told us the difference between graffiti and this type of art. Like, graffiti is just scribble. This is really just express yourself. So, I think I learned as much as I can from this, and then just make my own art pieces.
Are you an artist?
I draw a lot, yeah, ever since like the 2nd grade.
How long have you been at this school?
Months, like since the beginning of school years.
Oh, really? What do you
Uh,
think about it?
It's a cool school. It's a lot of drama for it to be so small, but besides that,
Because the kids know each other.
yeah, some like every time there's a new kid, someone seems to know him. But I mean, the boys seem to stick together, but it seems to be a lot of tension between the girls. So I tend not to get into it though.
Yeah. Do you like this better than your old school?
Yeah, it's smaller, less noise. It gets boring though. I think we have a field trip tomorrow. We're going bowling, and then after that, we're going to a gaming place. And then they're giving us like a Thanksgiving like lunch. So they're like real cool when it comes to like connecting with the kids. Cause usually teachers at other schools they're just there for really the paycheck. Here there's sort of like relationships between us. It's different. Just feels like normal school, but then different at the same time. The only thing that's like really different is the school lunch. It's like it's horrible. At Skyline, there was a lot of different choices on what to eat.
And like, does you feel like that helps?
I like this class, bike mechanics, work it and rites of passage. I was doing self-defense, but Jay isn't here today. But yeah, boxing, that's fun. Me and Ian, but N's suspended right now.
He's suspended from this school.
Yeah, he got suspended.
How do you get suspended?
Fight. Well, he got to fight. That a lot of people have to restrain from fighting. Me and Sam have been in altercation with the same one. It's annoying.
Yeah, I'm wired up, man. Don't say nothing that'll incriminate you. At least I'm telling you, yo, I'm wearing a wire.
Cool. Can you say your first name and your age again?
Corey, and I'm 15.
Cool. Thank you.
Basically, a lot of the work that I do right now is I find photos that I'm going to work off of, that I'm going to draw from. And I want to be able to transfer those photos from, for now, for what you guys do, from paper to paper. You look at the drawing and you draw it on your own paper. And it's basically off of photos. It's really whack to copy someone's drawing like that, right? But from a photo to paper is a little more acceptable. You guys have pencils? I thought you guys were jumping on a bus. Oh, good. Okay, come on. So,
Did they leave?
no, they're here.
No.
Oh. Okay, so what I was just telling them is that we're gonna move into something different so that you guys don't get bored doing the same thing. Like to scale, evenly, etc. But for right now, we're gonna just start, each one's gonna get a fish photo and you're gonna draw the fish, okay? But the trick to it is that you gotta draw all the details. And you gotta get it the right shape, the right proportion, everything, okay? It's not that hard, but it's not that easy. And it takes a lot of concentration. You gotta really sit there and make sure that you got it right. I concentrate right now.
No, I don't want to go home.
Oh, okay. Well, but you are getting paid for this, right? So, okay. Looking at that detail. See, you can do it. Right there. And move hella people into the neighborhood, and the neighborhood can't hold all those people. Right? It's part of the gentrification move. So that's part of the conflict. The community that lives there and made all that art and all that. This whole piece gets moved up. Sometimes this part you got pretty good. And you're gonna have to come. Oh, sure. Oh, there's the fresh food.
Nope.
Yes. And we got pencils with erasers.
I need those. I need every single one.
Oh, yeah, toss this.
Can I just start at home?
Oh, just making sure. Kind of crazy looking design. Well, oh shit.
It's up to you.
No, you see it starts coming down more.
Yeah.
I gotta put this. Catch the whole wall. I mean, we could technically go up.
You want?
Or we can get like. I've learned how to drive the basket, like, and the scissors pretty good. I'll be right back.
Okay.
but we do stand in solidarity with the union and unionizing and organized labor and the working men and women of this country and this world. That's kind of the picture that we're thinking about. And then we just tried to, not to be funny, but we tried to make the pictures as psychedelic as hell, just to, I mean, you should have seen the first design we made for them. It was trippy, man. But we really, like, you know, the images that we chose are really of people standing up for labor rights, as well as people in their fields. And that's the bottom line here, is just that, you know, like, everybody has the right to organize, everybody has the right to a living wage. You know, they're, you know, this is a union, and they're standing up for workers. And so they just bought this building like a year ago. They've been kind of bouncing around, you know, and then they've been fixing it up really, really nice. And they wanted a mural primarily to just erase all of the vandalism that's consistently happening on this building. This used to be a church and kind of a Salvation Army, and they, you know, they shut down. I guess they, you know, the church moved out, and these guys bought the building, and every day people were bombing this wall nonstop. We're going to community day school on Redwood Road up in the hills, East Oakland. That, like, you know, in the past I, you know, drank a lot and, you know, smoked a lot of weed, and now I'm stone sober and have been for over 10 years. So I can talk to you about getting, you know, dealing with your addictions, and I can talk to you about, you know, if you happen to be a vandal. But a lot of the situations where folks are carrying guns and getting into violent altercations, I'm not much of a mentor. So I really focus on just creating an opportunity for you to be creative that doesn't follow kind of the traditional school model of you know, like where a certain, that focuses on a certain kind of intelligence. I want people that are knuckleheads and ADHD and distractible, and I want to give them a space to be creative. And so I focus more on that, and I definitely don't preach a lot. I kind of, you know, make a lot of jokes and, you know, mess with you a little bit, but that's about it. And then I focus on activities to keep you busy, to keep you engaged. And I can also set an example as a professional artist that I make a living off of this, that that this is actually a vocation, that you can do this and survive off of it. And so kids who are interested in that, I can have that conversation with them about what does it take, what do you need to do, how do you do it, how do you build your connections, like what are the things that it takes to be kind of, to make a living as an artist. Hella foggy. Man, I don't really want to park in the parking lot. I guess I should. We'll just go park.
They do all these murals?
Yeah.
Oh, these are cool.
So, I mean, that's the piece that's exciting about this, is that we're actually doing painting the school. So here we are. So we went around the school writing positive words, and then the kids memorized from the 2 projects ago. And then like I brought Pancho one day, and he did the praying mantis, and I did the bird. And the kids had done that piece already.
Decide what they want to paint, or do you just kind of?
And because I had them doing the blue bubbles last week. But you see, it's primarily letters. Because Alice is patient. I clean it up. What day is today? Okay.
Tuesday?
Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday.
No, it's not. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, you're right.
That. Yeah, you don't want that car.
I mean, as a Stolo, yeah.
As a Stolo, what for? Just to get around, but
Exactly.
it's not gonna be fly.
Okay, y'all need to be fly.
That's you want to smash.
Yeah,
You want the
speakers in
Mustang. I ain't got no speakers in there. You see the busted speaker hole? That like the one channel I got on the radio.
You got one channel.
I got Kiss FM and that's
You
it.
ain't got no CDs.
You don't have no CD player.
You need a stereo.
Yo, if I put in a stereo, then you're gonna jack my car.
No.
See, you're not
You
think
just said nobody want that car.
you're not thinking like me. See, you're thinking like you want my car, and I'm thinking like I don't want you to want my car. And all you guys are staying at 4:30. Drawing straight off of the pictures, and we did that with, like I said, the panther and the lion over there. Okay. Everything.
Can we do that?
You can, but you might get arrested.
We'll do it at night.
Well, then you might not get arrested. But I can tell you all the penalties of what happens if you do get caught.
What
and then
happens?
you can make your own decision. Well, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. Can I get it? Looks pretty stylish, correct? Right?
Yep.
It's a good signature. I'm pretty proud of it. Worked on it for years. Okay? Other people, have, can you see? Focus on the first letter and then kind of keep it simple after that, like Julio. And there's an actual old school writer from New York named Julio 204. So I always try to use those names so that you can, you've heard them, you know what I mean? A lot of times people don't know that. There's also people like Super Cool, focused on the S, maybe the K. Everybody focus on having a unique style. Because what is your signature?
That is yours.
That is yours. If it's easy to copy, is it really yours?
No.
Right. If it's just like
Your
someone,
signature is supposed to be unique. Only something you know. That's why people don't steal your identity.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So signatures are the same when they come out on the street. You don't want to look like anybody else's style. You want to have your own.
A lot of people copy styles.
A lot of people copy
That ain't
styles,
even cute.
but their purpose is hopefully to at least take some of that and flip it into something that's theirs. Not just copy it and never do anything original with it. And when you see people that are original, you're kind of like, man, this dude's lame, or this woman's lame because they're not, coming up with something unique. Okay? So the first thing I want y'all to work on, just like what she's doing, is really think about how you want your style to be, and just mess around with it. Be creative. It's up to you how you want to do it, okay? But try to come up with more than one. Don't just repeat the same one over and over again. Can you do that? Okay, give it a shot. Take a minute. If you need help picking a word that you're going to write, that's fine. I'll be glad to help you. But come up with, and right now, stick to signatures only. And don't move into outlines. And I'll explain a little bit more about what an outline is and what its purpose is in a second. But just focus on handwriting. A, K. Like that, right?
Silver.
Now you have the Y opportunity. The Y can have all types. Really turn my ear at them, and that's how I get the information. You see what I'm saying? So I did this 10,000 times a day. So the first 5,000 came out ugly, but after a while I got good. Right? So you may not like the first ones, but you.
Yeah, so this is a school where we have like 24 students and probably 15 staff. So it's really designed for them to be able to do whatever they need to do and take care of their own rhythms and self-manage. And so these are folks who probably 99% are dealing with a ridiculous amount of trauma. So a part of their learning here is, I'm checking out right now. This is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on with me. I need to take a break. I need to go take a walk. I need to go sit and meditate. I need to talk to somebody. I need to do something to shift where I'm at. So there is a lot of space for them to do whatever they need to do to take care of themselves, as long as it's not disruptive, and to be supported in that, in whatever way they're wanting that support. Yeah, some of the things that are common for folks who have experienced trauma is resistance to authority. It's like not wanting to be told, not wanting to be controlled, needing to feel in control. There's often a lot of anger. There's often a lot of numbness and I don't care. There's a lot of ADD, I think, is often really stuck trauma. So there's a lot of energy and a lot of kinetic energy and frenetic energy. I think that's true for teenagers in general, but for folks who are dealing with a lot of trauma in their bodies, if you settle, you start to feel things that are hard to feel, and so there's just need to be moving a lot. There can be a lot of addiction to drama, a lot of arguing, and a lot of finding reasons to be upset and finding reasons why we're feeling attacked. My name is Imani William, and we're here at Oakland Community Day School, which is a continuation school for OUSD. And I'm a counselor. I run a men's group, a rites of passage program, as well as an after-school internship program. So these are students here who largely are people of color, living in low-income neighborhoods, growing up around a lot of violence, a lot of drug abuse, a lot of racism, institutional, really deeply affected by the school-to-prison pipeline, are basically getting the brunt of the violence of imperialism and capitalism and the costs of the extractive economy. So they're living with a lot of trauma, with survival mentality, with a lot of anger, with a lot of grief, learning to navigate essentially warlike situations, and a war that's unacknowledged largely by the mainstream society. So they're also feeling really unseen and really unheard. So these are students that really need to be able to tell their story, that really need to be able to critically analyze the story that's being told about them, and the way that affects the way that they're treated, and the way that they're met with consistent and constant violence from folks who don't know them and folks who do know them. Yeah, so our principal, Mikael Johnson, put together an after-school program where they get to learn a whole bunch of different programs. They get to combine their passions with job skills, career pathway, and get paid to do it. So one of them is the Mural Arts program with Desi, and they get to tell their stories. They get to have an outlet for their creativity. They get to learn about history and learn about people and movements that have brought power to their communities, that have changed the things that they struggle. So the Mural Arts program with Desi is an amazing opportunity for them to hone skills like creating art, like research. They get to delve into community figures and movements that have brought power to their situations, that have improved their communities, and they get to illustrate them and paint a picture, and that picture will be on the buildings for 10, 15, 20 years. So they also get to leave a legacy. They get to beautify their school. They get to feel like I had an effect on this place. They're learning team building. They're building relationships with each other as they're learning these skills. They're having fun. They're getting paid to do it. So they're also like feeling directly and immediately valued for their work, while also being able to provide resource, which is really important for a lot of these cats. A lot of these students are supporting, contributing to their family, and need to be making money. So they're also making money while they're doing it. So part of the return to relationship is storytelling, is giving voice, is recreating vision, is recreating what we're surrounded by. So the Mural Arts program is powerful in that way of giving the students a voice, letting them see their own visions outside of them,